Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Matador Express. I'm Everett, the sports editor here at the Daily Toreador.
And I'm Quintin Marquez, sports reporter for the DT.
Was not a great weekend here at Texas Tech University for our sports teams. Didn't get a lot of wins. Just had one win on the weekend. We played 4 games across 3 different sports. We just got one win on the weekend, man, Quintin.
Sometimes you can't win them all, and this weekend is proof of just that.
Could win pretty much any of them.
I mean, you can't win them all. Sometimes you can just win one in the weekend, and sometimes you do win them all. Occasionally you do win them all.
Tech has done that before.
Tech has done that before, and we will do it once again.
We started Friday night with a 0-0 tie, which I think is a little bit worse than a loss, actually. Soccer team playing in their first Big 12 matchup on the road in Norman against Oklahoma. Quinn, what do you think went wrong in that game?
Well, I mean, Oklahoma's a good team.
Mhm.
That's a team that beat Tech last year at Tech at our home. This year we played in Norman, Oklahoma, tied 0-0. That means they went into overtime. They went to double overtime, and no one scored anything. So, yes, it's not a win. It's not a loss. It's 0-0. Let's move on to the next Big 12 team and see what happens.
Yeah, I know you talked about last week. Tech's got a pretty young team. They got a lot of freshmen playing, even in their starting lineup. They got a lot of freshmen playing. So I think to be able to go into, pretty hostile environment like Norman, first Big 12 game, they're already on the road, and to be able to not give up any goals. They didn't score any, but be able to not give up any goals is, it's a pretty good thing.
The fact that they're taking all these freshmen and going against Oklahoma and tying them 0-0, Oklahoma couldn't beat a bunch of freshmen. Boo-hoo Sooners! Come on, it's like if I would take me and Everett and my little cousins or little nephew's 11-year-old little basketball team, and we go play the dream team. That's what it's like. And you couldn't beat our freshmen? Get out of here! Next year, whenever these freshmen are sophomore, you better be worried, Oklahoma.
Definitely right. They did go on to win Sunday, 2-1. They went to California. I'm sure the weather was great out there. A little jealous of that. But they went into double overtime again, just like they did last time they were at home. Went into double overtime, got the 2-1 win against Cal State Northridge. You like that a little better than the 0-0 draw?
I'd like that. I wish it was against a Big 12 team. I'll take a win, though. I'll take a win anytime Tech wins anything. So there you go, 2-1. Cal State, you suck, we rock, whatever.
Yeah, this week Tech's going to be back in Oklahoma again, playing another Big 12 road game. This weekend they'll be taking on Oklahoma State on Friday night, trying to get that first Big 12 conference win. And then they don't play a game on Sunday this week. There's no sporting events whatsoever. Quinn and I were talking about this earlier. No sporting events at all on Texas Tech's campus this week.
Don't look around here because you won't find any.
It's going to be a boring weekend for the sports staff overall. But they play Oklahoma State Friday night in Stillwater. And then next week they will be home taking on, I can't remember who they're taking on next week, but they'll be home for their first Big 12 home matchup at the John Walker next week. Volleyball team also took a loss this weekend. And what happened in that Saturday matchup that they had?
Well, Iowa State, I guess, is the only one good thing they're good at is volleyball. So, hey, let's give it to them. Let's go and just wash that loss away.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get ready for the next game. But Iowa State, let's hand it to you. Whatever, you get 2 claps from me. No more, no less.
Yeah, Tech lost that game in 3 straight sets. They weren't able to get a win in any of those sets. But the Red Raiders do go on the road tomorrow to Waco to play Baylor. Tech beat Baylor last year here at home. It was a home game last year. It was the first time, though, Tech had beat Baylor since 2004. So, like last week, we had the first win against Oklahoma in forever. Last year, we had first win against Baylor in forever. I was talking to Diego, our volleyball writer, earlier. He said Baylor's got a new coach, just started last year. So we'll kind of see how he's probably still trying to build kind of a repertoire there. We'll see how long it takes him to get that program going. Hopefully, though, Tech can get its second Big 12 win, get one on the road this weekend in Baylor.
Well, when I saw them play OU last week, you can see the fire in their eyes. They are ready to compete with the Big 12 teams, Baylor, Texas, OU. They're ready to play with them. I can see it. They're all determined, they're all competitive, and they're all willing to do whatever it takes to win. So
definitely. Raiders will be home next weekend. We'll have several home games next weekend. Tech will be home taking on Kansas next Wednesday will be their next home game.
You know what? I hate the Jayhawks. I've never told anybody this, but I dislike the Jayhawks. I hope Tech beats the whatever out of the Jayhawks. I do not like them.
All right, last but not least, the probably most painful loss we're going to talk about on this show. No, it's not going to be fun to talk about. Tech fans, it's not going to be fun to remember. It's probably going to sting for at least another year till we can get against TCU again in football. Tech football team loses 23 seconds left on a, I think, pretty lucky play by the Horned Frogs running back Aaron Green.
I was right there. I was like 20 feet away from the end zone line. Who stands behind the end zone when you're trying to play a football game? Like, the guy was like behind he was out of bounds already, jumps back into 2 bounds, and then jumps out of bounds. I mean, I'm sure we're going to show a clip of it, of that catch, but come on, who does that? Like, he was just, that's the luckiest play I've ever seen in football. The luckiest play.
It was insane, man. He just barely drug those toes in, got that touchdown catch, put TCU up 55-52. They got the win.
Honestly, though, what were they ranked? Number 3?
Number 3 coming in. They're number 4 now. They dropped a spot after.
They were ranked number 3 going into this game. We weren't even ranked, and we took them. We were able to score 52 points on them, and they can only score 55. I mean, that is as close as you could get to a number 3 team whenever you're not ranked. I mean, it is a sad loss, but let's look at it this way. We got a great offense. Our defense, I mean, I know we lost, but the defense played way better. I was so proud of the defense. I was like, look at us play some defense. I like that. All right, I see you.
Good stuff. I know Coach Kingsbury talked about Tech had the ball with about 4 minutes left on offense. They'd been scoring all day. They had a chance, maybe just get a couple first downs, run out the clock, and they weren't able to get a first down, go 3 and out. That's what allows TCU to score there. Coach Kingsbury's talked about it all year. Players having a killer instinct to be able to close out that game. They had the problem against Sam Houston State not being able to close it out. So I think that may be something. I mean, you're seeing Mahomes is a younger guy, and in the TCU game, he got hurt pretty early on. Wasn't as mobile as he would have probably liked to be. Wasn't able to run the ball as much. And I know Kingsbury talked about that. Limited a little bit of his play calling. But like you said, Tech still with a hurt quarterback and young team for the most part. Tech still able to put 52 points up on a number 3 team with Gary Patterson, who's a great defensive mind at the helm. Seems like a pretty. I mean, honestly, take a moral victory. That seems like a moral victory.
I think it's a great moral victory, but we have to see what our team is made of. I mean, against a number 3 team, Mahomes looked great. The defense looked great. Grant, my boy, you know how to run. Dude, I saw him, like, he was running away from the camera I was at, but he was, like, cutting through the field. Dude runs like it's a cartoon. Like, he runs as like an animated character. But he just runs like it's unbelievable the way he does it.
Yeah,
he cuts through the field.
They run some great routes. This weekend, Tech will be on the road facing another top 10 team. They got a gauntlet of games back-to-back with Arkansas and then TCU. Now, this weekend, they'll be facing Baylor. They're going to go on the road, but it's a neutral site game in Cowboy Stadium. Yeah. We'll see. It'll be split down the middle, half Baylor fans, half Tech fans. It'll be a crazy game this weekend. Quintin, what do you think's going to happen?
Man, I think they're going to make the Cowboys proud by winning in their home. I think Baylor, what are they ranked, number 5?
I think 5, yeah.
Number 5. I think that what's going to happen is the same thing that happened with TCU, except for this time we're going to need to win because now we know how to do what we need to do to win the game. We also know how to call our timeouts, when to call our timeouts. We've learned that against TCU. I think our defense is getting better every week, so I think Baylor's in trouble, is what I think.
One more thing we got to talk about. Finally, I don't know if y'all watched our video earlier this year. We critiqued Tech's football uniforms last year. Finally, this past weekend, they pull a little switcheroo on us. Tech comes out in the black uniforms for warm-ups, and they come out of the tunnel, come out of the smoke, wearing red uniforms. What'd you think?
I thought it was awesome looking. I mean, red, it's like, we're going for you. We got blood on our shirts already, what it looks like. So we don't mind getting a little bit more blood on our shirts. I think it looks so cool.
I was so happy. I like the switcheroo. I think that's getting changing uniforms like right before the game. Some gets players pumped up. I don't know how excited all of them were about wearing the red uniforms.
It was like a Mighty Ducks moment. You know, like the first Mighty Ducks, they were wearing the old crappy uniforms, and then in D2, they have the really awesome like Mighty Duck thing with the hockey sticks. That's what it was like. We had our own Mighty Ducks moment here at Texas Tech, and I couldn't be any happier.
Red Raiders were wearing red, and it was freaking awesome.
And I think everybody should thank the DT because of that video that we posted. I think that's why they put in red jerseys.
I'm taking all the credit for it.
Well, yeah. Hey, give the credit. He already has a trophy. He should get his own red jersey. Why not?
That'd be awesome. All right, that's going to be all for this week, guys. Thanks for watching this episode of Matador Express. And Quintin and I will see you next week.